calculating interest of an annuity or a mortgage. Or I put and, okay? So, I'm going to need your help at this point. I know a lot of you guys have those calculators. I want you guys to calculate for us if our present value is $200,000 and we have a bank account that gives us 5% interest. It compounds it quarterly, which means our regular payments are going to be quarterly also. Okay, so compounding and payments will both be quarterly. And we're going to go over the course of 20 years. How much money are we going to be able to take out every quarter for 20 years? So I'm going to ask you guys to go on your calculators now and calculate that PMT for me. I know we've talked about it many times. So, what this says is, every payment period and compound period, we're able to take out $3,969. Okay? Now, because we're getting compounded and taking out our payments in the exact same period, we know our periods are N, which is 20 times 4. So this happens a total of 80 times. Which means let's actually calculate how much money we got over the life of this annuity. If we get $3,969.30 80 times, what's the total amount of money we've earned? We're going to have to put this into a calculator and multiply. So, 3,969.3 times 80 equals 317,544. 317,000. What's that? No, that does not go in the PMT. We just calculated this. So what this means is over the course of 20 years, we actually got $317,544. But remember, the present value, the amount of money we actually put into the bank or got out of the bank, maybe we inherited it, was only $200,000. So we earned quite a bit of interest over the course of 20 years. We'll subtract these two numbers to figure out the amount of interest we got. And it looks like we actually earned $117,544 in interest. Okay? Which is great. Over 20 years, we earned almost $120,000 in interest because of our annuity compounding 4 times a year and having a 5% interest rate. Thank you for finishing that sentence. Okay, so that's how we calculate the interest for a present value, which means it's going to be very similar for a mortgage. Okay, so let's go over to our mortgage information here. It says that we have a mortgage of $350,000. So they've given us $350,000. We have to pay $1,570 per month over the course of 30 years. So they don't really give us the percentage or anything. They've kind of done the calculating for us. What we want to find out is how much money have we given them over the course of 30 years. Okay? So that means if this is 30 years and we're doing it per month, our N, our number of payment periods, is 30 times 12, right? Because it's every month. Which means there's 360 payment periods. Okay? And remember, every month we owed them that much money. So $1,570 times 360. Okay. So how much money did we give them over the life of this mortgage? 1,570 times 360. Oops, sorry. Equals 565,200. 565,200. So, over the life of the mortgage, I gave the bank $565,200. But remember, they only gave me, at the start of this mortgage, $350,000. That means I paid them in interest. We subtract these values again. We paid them $215,000 in interest over the life of this mortgage. That's why paying off mortgages faster will reduce this amount. Okay, so look at that. The bank almost, not quite, but almost doubled their money when they lended it to me over the course of 30 years. So great investment for a bank. Kind of sucks for me that I had to pay them so much extra money when I only borrowed $350,000. Okay? Yeah. Okay, so the last one we want to do is figure out our future value to start. What we're going to do is every week we're going to put $200 into the bank, and it turns out they're going to compound for us our interest rate weekly, which means there are 52 weeks in a year, so our compounding periods are 52 over the course of the years. We're going to keep our money or an annuity going for 15 years, and what we need to do is calculate how much money we'll have in the bank at the end. So I know you guys have your calculators there. Anyone got a number for me? Okay, so at the end of the life of this annuity, when you go to take money out, you'll have $181,866.10. Okay? What we want to do now is actually calculate how much money did we actually put into the bank so that we can figure out how much interest we earned. And in order to do this, we have to calculate our N, and our N is our years times compound periods. Okay? We said it was 15 years every single week. 780. So we did this 780 times. And how much money did we put in each time, every week? $200. So what we did is we put $200 into the bank 780 times, which means how much money did we actually put into the bank? Oh, I can calculate this. What is it? $156,000. So, over the life of this annuity, we invested $156,000. But because we put it into a bank account that earns interest, we want to calculate how much interest we actually earned. So, in the end, this is the amount of money in our bank account. And we're going to subtract it from the value of the money we put into the bank to figure out how much interest we earned over the life of this mortgage. Not mortgage, sorry, annuity. So we earned a lovely 10 cents, $866. So we earned $25,866 in interest over the 15 years by just putting $200 into the bank every week. And that's actually somewhat of a manageable amount of money to put into the bank each week.